Hello and welcome to the Two Brain Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Mateo Lopez. I'm one of the digital marketing mentors at Two Brain Business. And this is going to be your weekly dose of digital marketing magic. Every week, we're going to go over marketing campaign strategies, useful tips, and updates to keep in the loop on the ever-changing landscape of advertising on the internet for your business. And in today's episode, we have a very special guest, Coty Bradburn, and you're going to learn a little bit about him and his gym and how he was able to spend $2,000 in paid ads and generate over $12,000 in front-end revenue. So we're going to figure out exactly how he did that. And so, Coty, how's it going?
It's going well, Mateo. Thanks for having me.
Awesome, man. So tell people who are listening, tell us a little bit about you, where you're from, and your gym.
Yeah. So I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. My gym is CrossFit Mountain Island. It's right outside of the city. We're actually in a pocket that's not super saturated yet. You'll see, I got the gym September of 2017. It had been a CrossFit gym for 4 years already. It had been through 3 different owners. And when I bought the gym, the guy had 6 members that were active. So I took over his lease, essentially just paid for his assets because he didn't have a business I was buying. And then negotiated with the landlord to give me 3 months of no rent to build up the membership. And that was it. It was just kind of like see what happens.
How did you do that?
How did I negotiate that?
Yeah, just your Southern charm, or how did you do it?
The Southern charm was a factor. But the guy that was managing the property knew that the dude that owned it wasn't doing well. I'm not even sure how he was floating the business. He must have had other assets coming in. But I just told him I was like, hey man, there's not a lot of CrossFit gyms out here. I think the market can handle it and it needs it. But as of right now, if I'm going to sign this lease, I'm not going to pay you rent because the money's not there from the business. I was like, I can take over and I can fix it. I know I can fix it. I just need some time. So he agreed to that, gave me October, November, December. So I didn't even have to pay rent until the 1st of 2018. And at that point, the first thing I did when I bought the gym, I remember the first day I took over, I called Chris because I knew I was going to go into Two Brain. I had money put back that I could use to pay for incubator. But it would have dug into my safety net for my first month's rent. So I told Chris the situation on the phone. He suggested I wait until I've got enough cash flow to pay rent and then do incubator. So I did that, waited until about, I want to say it was January or February. I'd grown it from 6 up to probably 40 to 50 members at that point. I was coaching a lot of the classes. I had one other coach helping me out. And then, yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. How did you go from 6 members to 50 in 6 months?
So I was following Two Brain already. I was reading all of Chris's love letters, listening to the podcast, following along the Facebook page. So a lot of just warm market. I reached out and connected with all of the ex-members because at one point, this first or second owner had gotten the gym up to like 70 members before. But then he had some issues with the space, got burned out. We all know the story. Coached all the classes, didn't want to do anything as far as the business side, and then burned out and sold it. But reached out to all the old members, kind of wrote up a bio about myself, gave them my story, connected with them. Went out and put mailers in mailboxes in all the local neighborhoods, walked around, met a lot of the local business owners. A lot of my, I say a lot, the 6 members that were still there told all the old members that, it was moving in a better direction. Warm market mostly. It was all warm market. And then a lot of old members and then a handful of just local, members of the community, I guess, came around.
Okay, so were you a coach before, or were you a member before, or how did that happen?
No, dude, it was weird, man. So I was managing a CrossFit gym in the city at the time. I'd been managing it for a little over a year, I would say. I was managing coaching there. The owners were remote. They lived out in Nashville. The gym was about 10,000 square feet. I mean, the membership was hanging out around 180 to 200 for the most part. But I didn't really know a lot about running a business, especially a CrossFit gym. I'd coached prior to that, but it was a lot of experience I gained managing that place, right? So how I found out about my gym now, it was for sale. My mother, her friend was a member at that gym. So then she told my mom that, hey, this gym's for sale. Mom told me, I was like, well, I can't afford to buy a gym, but I'll go look at it and see, might as well go check it out. And it was actually really close to my house. It's 12 minutes away from where I live, which was half the distance of the gym I was managing. And it was in a cool spot. I did some research, met the members, met the owner. And yeah, man, it just kind of the way it all happened was a blessing, but it was one of those stories is like, it was meant to be, right? In quotation there. Because just the way that it happened was just wild. But I found out about the gym, and then within 2 months, I was owner.
A lot of people we talked to a lot of people who are thinking about opening a gym or thinking about buying a gym. Do you have any advice for people who are thinking about buying an existing business versus just starting from scratch?
From my experience from buying the gym, I mean, I think there's pros and cons. The big pro is that it was already, it was a brick and mortar location. It was already set up. The equipment was there. It was turnkey, right? I mean, turnkey as far as the gym goes, not turnkey as far as the business goes. I had to learn a lot about how to run the business because I was used to coaching and just some low level managing prior to owning it. But the con would be that the brand had a reputation that I had to overcome, right? So I went through the process of considering, completely rebranding, changing the name.
Did you do that, or it sounds like you didn't do that?
No, I ended up keeping it. Yeah, I kept the name, and just did a lot of work overcoming people's perception, mostly with advertising myself.
Yeah, so because it sounds like you did a lot of direct outreach. It sounds like you kind of sold yourself to the 6 people you had,
right? And
then said, "Hey, go spread the word to the other people who maybe have left."
Yeah.
So it seems like that was really effective for you. When people came back, did you, what did you offer them to try and get them to try it out again?
Let's see. I don't remember offering. I mean, I have never done discounts. I don't remember offering discounts. I don't remember. I think for ex-members, because this was prior to me going to Incubator. For ex-members, I offered them a free class, those that had done CrossFit, so they could see my coaching style, get an experience as far as how class structures were going to go now versus how they had been prior. And then just talked in person. We just sat down for coffee and just chatted about, me, answered their questions. But I didn't have a very hard time overcoming those objections as far as old members coming back, because when they left because of the coaching style and the management of the previous owner. And I think it was pretty apparent when they met me and saw how I ran a class and experienced that it was going to be different. So those were pretty easy sales, because they came back, tried a class, were like, yep, this is what I want. And then they signed back up.
So then what was different about your service?
Well, I don't want to speak badly about the previous owner. He wasn't into CrossFit for CrossFit. It was interesting. He didn't do CrossFit. He didn't exercise. He didn't understand the methodology. He didn't even have a level 1. He had the affiliate in a coach's name that had a level 1. So he was bringing in random trainers, some without certifications, to run classes, but that didn't have experience CrossFitting. I mean, I've been told stories about, members having keys to the gym that when the coach wasn't there, they would just open up and work out by themselves and lock up. Anywhere from that to, the coach coming in, turning on the lights, playing music, and then going and sitting in the office and on their phone for the duration of the class while members worked out, to them trying to run like a kids program simultaneously with the class without a coach being there for the kids program. It was, yeah, dude, it was gnarly.
Oh, wow.
So when they walked in and met a guy that was like passionate about CrossFit, was opening up every day, closing every night, the whole romanticized concept of owning a CrossFit gym, that's not sustainable. But they met me. They could tell I was passionate. They saw me all the time. They could tell I cared about the gym, and I was invested in them.
Yeah. So just coming in and coaching the class seems like that was a big step up in the
it was massive.
In the right direction.
It really was, yeah.
Okay. And tell me a little about the outreach you did with the people in the community. So you said you went to other businesses and just kind of introduced yourself. What was that like?
It was interesting because prior to owning this business, I've never had any experience with sales, and I didn't realize at the time that I was essentially selling myself. But I wrote a bio about myself and the gym, as far as like vision for the gym and what the goal was to accomplish, and then just drove out to businesses and took these flyers to like apartment complexes and local restaurants and small mom and pop shops and just talked to them, told them, I'd taken over the gym, told them where we were at, what we were doing, and then encouraged them to come by and just try it.
And okay, so you took over this business. It sounds like it was just you. Was it just you, or did you have
one other coach?
Another coach, okay.
Yeah, that was really an intern because they went and got their level 1 like a month prior to me taking over, and then they wanted to come in and just learn everything about it. So.
Okay, so it was you and a part-timer. You worked your butt off to try and salvage this business. You're able to have some amazing growth, going from 6 members to 50 in 6 months. Right around that time, you've been following Two Brain, you've been following Chris, but right about that time, 6 months later, you decided to pull the trigger. What motivated you to make that decision? And then, what was kind of the change you saw after going through the incubator?
The motivation for me was that I didn't want to be that guy that was, 5 to 10 years deep into the business with the CrossFit gym, and still be coaching all the classes, getting by, worrying about the next steps as far as like business growth. I didn't want to pay all that money every month to burn out or to be confined to my business. I don't think that entrepreneurs own businesses to be slaves to the business. I think if I wanted to have that kind of a schedule, I would just pick up a 9-to-5 somewhere and have the stability of that without the stresses of business ownership. So went with Two Brain because I knew that it was going to give me the freedom to lead the lifestyle I want to lead, for sure. Differences I noticed, I knew how to coach. I knew how to, be personable. I knew how to relate to members. I was invested in them. So that was all easy. We all do that. But I had no idea how to run a business. So what I learned from the incubator was, Chris's mindset and the Two Brain mindset as far as how to separate yourself, how to create value, how not to compete with other gyms on price, the reason not to give discounts. It was like, it was a perspective shift, right? So it was understanding that if we want to be, at the top of this business model, we have to do things that other gyms don't do. So I learned all those things that we do that separate us.
Amazing. And how you said lifestyle was important. How did your lifestyle change from before the incubator and then after going through it?
Well, it's 10 o'clock in the morning right now. I just had breakfast. I'm drinking coffee, talking to you, and I'm not freaking out about the gym, right?
I guess there you go. Enough said.
Yeah, we've got, every day, Monday through Friday, we've got 6 classes that run a day with personal training time slots opened up between those classes, as well as no sweat intro time slots. I've got 8 employees.
Wow.
Really, I'm responsible for 3 classes a week, and that's because I want to. I mean, I've got a waiting list of employees that like want more classes, but I'm still in the place where I want to have a presence in the gym. I'm trying to figure out how I can replace myself that doesn't negatively impact the members' experience. So I'm not there yet. I've got a long way to go with that. But yeah, man, like if I know that if I want to coach classes, I can, but I don't have to if I want to spend my time doing things that are going to grow the business. That's been the biggest change is I'm not imprisoned in that what the business has to have to stay sustainable, you know?
Yeah, totally. I totally get that. That's amazing. And so in your own words, 'cause it sounds like you've really upgraded the service from the previous ownership, from the way it was previously run. So in your own words, what do you sell and how do you sell it?
I sell, and I think we all sell, a fix to people's problems, right? That's what we're doing. We're trying to genuinely change lives, right? So we sell an experience and information that is going to impact not just the member, but the entire member's like close circle, right? So like their family, right? So if we impact a mom, I mean, like last week, my girlfriend and I, we had a power hour nutrition consult with the lady that's doing the 6-week challenge, FaceTiming, and like we were giving her advice that was going to directly impact her husband and her kids because she's the one that does the grocery shopping and the cooking, right? So if we can change her experience and her mindset on health and fitness, I mean, we're going to impact a lot more than just her, right? So that's what we sell. We sell, I mean, I wholeheartedly believe that we sell a fix to chronic disease through CrossFit and our education and experience. I sell it by connecting with people, right? So if someone doesn't trust me or they don't think that I have credibility, they're not going to buy from me. But if they come in and we can connect and I can make them laugh and they can see I'm a person that just hasn't fixed their problem, and they can look around and see that I have credibility by the business and people that are already there giving social proof. I mean, the only question is, can they afford it after that? Because really, they know that if they know they have a problem, if they're in my gym, if they've come in, they know there's a problem and they need to have fixed. And if they like me and they can afford it, there's no other missing pieces.
So I think that's so true. I think the key, what you're talking about here is, you know, the key to sales is problem solving, right? People are turning to you. People are walking in through your door. People are calling because they have a problem. They may not know what it is exactly just yet. And that's kind of our job to coach them through that and tease it out. But yeah, that's really the motivating factor for all of sales, right? It's people have a current problem, current situation. They're trying to get to their desired spot, their desired solution. And it sounds like you do a good job of positioning yourself as that solution. So you said getting people to know, like, and trust you is critical. Right. So walk us through that sales process. What happens when someone walks in through the door?
Yeah, they walk in, you know, if they're on the schedule, we're expecting them. So they meet with me or my girlfriend, Noelle, or one of the coaches. And we offer them a bottle of water or a cup of coffee. We kind of show them the gym. If there's a class going on, we'll give a quick breakdown of like the class structure, what's happening. We'll tell them a few members' names so they have some identity, and then we'll head into our office. We actually have an office that we use for no sweat intros. It has, you know, some pretty comfortable leather couches, or I'm sorry, leather chairs. We have a coffee bar, a desk, and we'll sit side by side. And yeah, we'll just go over, I mean, we use the no sweat intro sheet from the incubator. We basically start with like, okay, well, why are you here? What's your problem? So we have some direction on how to talk to them. And then we just connect. I mean, we try to find out why health is important to them, why fitness is important to them. We try to find the real reason they're there, not just the superficial stuff. And once we figured that out, we just educate them. So we explain to them why it works, how the process works, what they can expect. And find out if their desire is more group or personal training. We use the help first model. So just based on what you need help with, this is how we can help you. This is how we suggest we help you, what we prescribe, and create like a vision of how this service is going to positively impact their quality of life. Because if they can envision that and we can prescribe what we think is best, that usually gets the ball rolling for them.
That's awesome. The fact that you greet them and you give them a bottle of water or a coffee, it kind of starts off that you're using that reciprocity principle where it's like you're giving them something. Now they're kind of primed to give you something back in return. So that's amazing that you do that. And then when you bring them into this office, it sounds like you create you're controlling the environment, controlling the experience, and you're not stuck in the chaoticness of the class or trying to talk over the music. I think that's super important, and it's a lesson it took me a long time to learn. And I think a lot of others are struggling with that too. But I think you bring a good point, and I can't stress the importance of having that separate space to conduct your intros, and that it's clean, and that it has nice leather couches, and it's an appealing place to be. So that's amazing. And so awesome. So now tell us a little bit about, how, so your lifestyle changed in the sense that you were able to, bring on some other coaches. You're able to have coffee right now and talk with me.
Right.
But walk us through some of the numbers. How did your gym on the business side and some of the metrics change after going through the incubator?
For sure. So after the incubator, most of the growth for the business was in systems. Learning how to connect with the warm market I had, show them value. I still didn't understand Facebook or Instagram advertising. I would, boost a post here and there that was having good organic reach, but I didn't really know what that would do. I didn't have a system in place to capture those people that saw it. So long story short, I also signed up for the marketing incubator too. That was back in like May or June, so it's about 6 months after the incubator. And then, or no, it was closer to the end of the year, so like around August, September. But I got through the marketing. I mean, I remember sitting right here at my coffee table in my house or my dinner table for a weekend, 8-9 hours a day, working through the entire marketing incubator and having it done by the following Monday. And I had ads, ClickFunnels, landing pages all live and going with Zaps texting me about new leads in a couple of days. I went through all of it super fast. So as far as that goes, that taught me about how to get out into the actual online marketing space. And that was huge. So as far as metrics go now, we're up around like 87 and 90 members, trying to break through that threshold of 100 people. Let's see, so far I've spent a little over $2,000 on paid ads. 2,054. My average cost per lead for women is $643. For men, it's about $884. So pretty low. Now we're just trying to figure out the best systems to improve notes what intro shows, right? So just using UpLaunch, following along with you and Blake, using the systems you guys preach to make them show up, because if they come into the gym, we'll probably sell them. But out of that 2,054 I put in, the front end revenue's been $12,488.74. And that's all solely based on like 6-week challenges. I've got a couple doing the 100-day journey. And then that's not including like, ARM or membership after they finish their challenge. That's purely front end. So it's good.
Wow, that's awesome, man. And so it sounds like, you've had this awesome journey from taking this derelict business and making it your own, completely changing the way you offer the service. You've kind of made a name for yourself in the community. You've done a lot of outreach. You've worked through your systems. You've hired a staff, and you've now created a way in which you can kind of grow and control the growth of your gym through some of the paid advertising strategies. So, what do you think has been the key to your success so far?
I mean, if I had to say one thing, I'd say consistency has been key to success, because saying you're going to do something to your members or your coaches and then following through is huge. People see through that. And then just consistently every day doing the things that need to be done as far as like CEO tasks and owner tasks that are going to move the needle for the business, so that I can positively impact the coaches and the members without martyring myself, my quality of life, right? So if you're not consistent in those things, it's not really going to push the needle for you. But consistently working through the incubator, consistently working through the marketing. I mean, right now, my girlfriend Noelle and I, she's helping me run the business now. We're redoing the incubator and the marketing modules so that we can both be on the same page. And so it's cool for me, because now I've been doing it for about 6 months, a year. I'm getting the same information from a new perspective, because I've experienced a lot of it. So we're redoing some landing pages. We just finished redoing our website. But I mean, I think it comes back to being consistent and doing the things we all know we need to do, and that you guys tell us to do because it works, to be able to keep advancing our businesses. For sure.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, I mean, I think what you're touching on is, holding yourself accountable and making sure you're following through on the things you're going to say you're going to do, and consistently growing and consistently learning. And even if you think you know something, going back again and it's kind of like CrossFit fundamentals, going through the incubator, you're going through business fundamentals, and I also think a big part of that is mentorship, right? That's what the mentor is there to help you do, is to keep you accountable, keep you, make sure you're consistently growing and challenging yourself and pushing yourself and getting to that next level. And I think that's kind of the key difference with what we do and with some of the other stuff that's out there. So awesam, man. Well, thanks for hopping on and sharing your coffee with me this morning. And then, am I going to see you at the summit? Will I see you in June?
Yeah, we're actually looking at Airbnbs and plane tickets this morning right now.
Nice.
For the summit, and trying to find some people to stay with, or just grab a hotel. But yeah, that's on the agenda, and we're going to make it happen so we can get out there and actually meet you guys.
Nice. Well, hopefully we'll see you there, and then, keep crushing it, dude.
Thanks, man. I appreciate all the information and the help.